If you think getting in shape will magically fix your social life, let me tell you, it won't. I learned that the hard way. For my entire life in high school, I was invisible. Not bullied, not hated, just there, blending in. I thought being stoic, quiet, training hard, looking decent would somehow earn me validation from my peers. It didn't, because you can't be validated if you're never visible. Last year though, putting myself out there, cold approaching, starting conversations, speaking first, was the single best, highest ROI thing I did. Higher than gym, higher than diet, higher than any habit. And here is why.
Yeah, you got the eyes of a monster. Don't fit into the image they construct. Ambition has them shook, they grown scared of your conscience. But you can waver, boy, what's a king without conquest? All the hate's part of the road, you gotta prove if you want. I will never let this opportunity slide, cause every minute of your future's just a moment of mine. Yeah, the money, liquor, and hoes on sight sounds nice, but that ain't the type of future that I see for me and mine. I got the eyes of a monster.
Point 1. The one-dimensional man myth. A lot of young men believe this lie, that one day when they get the physique, the money, the car, the career, social success will just happen. It won't, because social ability is its own skill. We live in a world where pretty much everyone is terrified to speak first. Even if someone notices you, more than 90% of people won't project that. If you don't speak, nothing happens. You don't get noticed, you don't get remembered, you don't get chosen. That girl is not gonna go out her way to cold approach you, brother. You have to do it yourself. And even in a professional environment, a lot of the times, the smartest guy in the room won't get the promotion. It'll often be like some fella called Brad who simply said good morning to the boss every morning and made himself more visible to the boss. He gets chosen. Point 2. Socializing is a trainable skill. When I first started approaching people, my stomach would tighten. I'd speak too fast, over-explain, laugh awkwardly. You could hear the nerves, but exposure changes you. Now, I'm calm, measured, controlled, because repetition rewires your nervous system. Think about those fellas that clean the windows of skyscrapers, for example. They were probably shitting themselves when they did it for the first few times, but through exposure and familiarity, they're now used to it and probably better at the job as a result. Confidence isn't something you think yourself into. It's something you have to condition. Yo, real quick, brother. Most men will watch this video, nod their head, and go back to the exact same habits tonight. A few won't. A few will actually decide to make a change. If you're in that second group, the reclamation community is where that happens. It's a completely free community I built for men serious about self-improvement. You'll have full-on direct access to me through messages, live calls, and you'll be surrounded by other lads who are on the exact same journey. Self-improvement fully changed, saved, and gave meaning to my life. And I am so passionate about it doing the same for you, brother. So if you're serious about this journey, I'll see you inside. Also, I don't know if it's going to be free forever, so links in the description. But anyway, back to the video. Point 3. Brotherhoods and relationships form from action. Through cold approach, I became far more confident with women to the point where I can now cold approach whenever I feel. I found myself in a romantic relationship, and beyond that, I built brotherhoods, dozens of new mates, men I talk self-improvement with, men who hold me accountable, push me, and none of that would have happened if I stayed quiet. Opportunity hides behind discomfort. And actually, I'll tell a cool story. When I first started doing this cold approach, I would, particularly with guys, I would pretend that I had this event going on where I would organize a bunch of guys basically to meet up for a run every single month. And yeah, I would basically just do this to get Instagram followers and meet new people. But it honestly got to the point where I approached so many people, it became a real thing, and now I have basically this Instagram chat where there's 90 people in it, and I invite them out to a run every single week. And yeah, bro, it's just sick as hell having a network like that and being able to unite the people in your own city. Point 4, family healing. I grew up personally in a closed family. Conversations were very surface level, emotions weren't explored, and funnily enough, through learning to approach strangers, I gained the courage to be able to speak deeper at home, to debate ideas, to open conversations. This skill transfers, and you wouldn't think it, but once you can speak to anyone, no relationship feels intimidating. Point 5, coming across as too much. There's a common fear that I'd like to debunk right now. A lot of men are scared of coming across as too much. But the real danger, in my opinion, is being invisible. You walk past opportunities every day. You could have spoke to that girl, but you rejected yourself first. You could have spoken to that guy at the gym. Maybe he could have shown you a new exercise for a muscle you weren't training before. Maybe he would have become a mate. You'd be surprised how many people are receptive. And even when they aren't, you respect yourself more for trying, right? I personally am way happier having had an unsuccessful cold approach than not trying. And rejection builds resilience, but silence builds regret. Cold approach isn't about some cringe pickup artistry. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing visibility over safety. Because safety kept me invisible for 18 years of my life. And I refuse to go back to that. If you want to learn how I started, what I'd recommend for beginners, and how to build this skill properly, subscribe, or better yet, the Reclamation Community. It's a completely free community I built for men serious about self-improvement. You'll have full-on direct access to me on messages, live calls, and you'll be surrounded by other lads who are on the exact same journey. Self-improvement fully changed, saved, and gave meaning to my life. And I'm so passionate about it doing the same for you, brother. So if you're serious about this journey, I'll see you inside. Also, I don't know if it's going to be free forever. So, links in the description. And remember, only applied knowledge translates into power. So go apply that shit, lad. Let's get it.